Hey there, it's Leslie at Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and today I'm going to share with you some sleeping bag cookies that I made for a Girl Scout camping trip. So I'm using a green royal icing in a 15-second consistency, and I'm just going to go ahead and slowly outline my sleeping bag. I am lifting my icing away from the cookie about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of an inch, and then I'm dragging the icing to the next corner and going back down. And I'm going pretty slowly. I'm keeping an eye on where my icing is falling rather than the tip of my icing bag. And I forgot to mention that before I got started, I did draw some lines on my cookie with an edible marker, showing where I wanted the separation of areas to be on my sleeping bag. Then I'm just going to flood in this bottom section, and I'm going to use my scribe to get the icing out to the edges and up into these little corners because I don't want my icing to overflow, so I'm not going to pipe it directly all the way to the edge. And then I'll skip a section and go up to the third section and do the same thing. Then I'm going to put this cookie aside to dry for at least 10 minutes, but probably would be better to let it dry even a little longer before I go back and flood in the last two sections. And I'm just going to follow the same process and flood in these last two sections and take my scribe and get the icing out to the corners. And once I finish with this, I let my cookie dry completely because I wanted to draw on it where the folded over part goes. But you need to let it dry at least 20 minutes if you're not going to write on the cookie with your edible marker. And then you can go ahead and pipe in this part right over the top where the folded back blanket is going to go. So it's kind of just like an upside down mountain shape, and I probably didn't need to draw it on there, but I wanted it to be pretty exact from cookie to cookie, so I went ahead and traced it on using a projector, but you definitely don't need to do that. So outline the folded back part of the sleeping bag and then flood that in, and then you're going to want to let this cookie dry completely. Depending on where you live and your humidity levels, it could take as much as 6 to 8 hours or even overnight. But make sure you let it dry completely before you go in and add any other of the painted detail work that I'm going to do next. Okay, I let my cookie dry overnight, and I've got some edible paint here that I'm just going to paint on a plaid pattern on the inside of the sleeping bag. So I'll do it on this top part, and then I will also do it on the folded back part of the sleeping bag. And this edible paint dries almost instantly, so I won't need to wait for it to dry before I go ahead and apply the royal icing transfers that I showed you how to make in a separate video. So the Girl Scouts camp out theme was woodland, and so I've got this cute little fox that I'm going to stick on the bottom, and I'm using some royal icing to glue down the pillow up at the top. And I'll put a little dab of royal icing on the back of the fox and glue him down as well. If any splooges out from underneath, just take a dampened paintbrush and wipe it away. This is so cute. I really love how these turned out. I hope you like it too. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I have new cookie tutorials every week, and thank you so much for watching and for your support. See you next time.